Rain does not end all at once. It loosens its grip on the world slowly. Water still falls from rooftops in broken rhythms. Gutters whisper long after the clouds have moved on. Thin streams slide down bark, gather along pavement, and drip from power lines, hanging over quiet streets. The storm is leaving, but the world it touched has not yet recovered. And then, almost without warning, the landscape changes. Birds go still. A sparrow remains fixed to a fence rail. A pigeon stands beneath a traffic light without shifting its feet. In the trees, movement fades. In the distance, a call breaks the silence once. Then nothing answers it. The air feels washed clean. To human eyes, it can look peaceful. But that stillness is not peace. It is recovery. Because rain does not simply make birds wet. It disrupts the systems that keep them alive. To understand what happens after a storm, you have to look past the quiet surface of the scene and into the body of the bird itself, into feathers, heat, flight, instinct, and energy. A feather feels almost weightless in the human hand, soft, delicate, easily carried by the slightest movement of air. Feathers are not just decoration, they are insulation, they are weather protection, they are control surfaces for flight. Under magnification, feathers reveal how intricate that system really is. What looks smooth from a distance becomes an organized structure of branches, filaments, and tiny interlocking parts. When that structure is dry and intact, a bird carries its protection everywhere it goes. When rain soaks through it, that protection begins to weaken. Water adds weight. It presses feathers down. It disrupts the fine alignment that helps them do their job efficiently. From a distance, the bird may still look fine, but physiologically, everything has changed. Now the body must work harder to hold temperature. Every breeze pulls away more warmth. Every minute of exposure costs energy. For some birds, especially aquatic species, specialized feather structure and oils provide stronger resistance to water. But many of the birds people notice most after rain live in a far narrower balance. And when that happens, stillness becomes strategy. Moving too much increases airflow over the body. Flying too soon demands enormous effort from feathers that may not yet be functioning at full precision. So the bird waits, not lazily, not peacefully, carefully. Small birds live on astonishingly narrow margins. Their bodies burn energy fast. Their hearts beat rapidly. Heat loss, reduced mobility, lower food access, greater energy demand, all happening together. The world grows quieter for biological reasons. What we hear as calm may actually be caution. After rain, that trust becomes weaker. Moisture clings to feathers in thin, invisible layers. The bird becomes heavier. A fraction of a second matters. A slight delay matters. An imperfect launch matters. Predators do not need total failure. They only need advantage. A bird perched quietly on a wire may not simply be conserving heat. It may also be waiting until flight feels dependable again. Some birds respond by choosing higher or more open perches, where approaching danger can be seen sooner. Others stay deeper under cover. Distance now becomes a decision. Timing becomes a decision. Even hunger becomes a decision. That is what makes the post-rain landscape feel suspended, as if nature itself is hesitating. For a small bird, warmth is never passive. It is produced constantly. Move and lose energy. Stay still and delay feeding. Search widely and risk exposure. Every choice has a cost, and because birds are shaped by survival, they hide that strain well. A soaked bird under a hedge can look ordinary. A silent bird on a branch can look calm. Yet under that surface, bodies may be working intensely just to maintain the minimum conditions required to keep going. Once the worst of the exposure begins to pass, another behavior emerges, one of the most important acts in a bird's daily life: preening. At first, the movement is small, a shift along the branch, a wing loosening slightly from the body. Then the beak disappears into the feathers, and the repair begins. Feathers only work well when their structure is aligned properly. Rain can separate the fine parts that normally stay interlocked. The beak moves along each feather, drawing the parts back into place. Misaligned sections are corrected, not because the bird is being neat, because flight depends on it. Many birds also gather oils from a gland near the base of the tail and spread that protection through the plumage while preening. After rain, that maintenance becomes critical. The storm has left damage behind, and now the bird must rebuild what the weather disrupted. Some spread their wings slightly toward light or moving air to speed drying. Some give sudden violent shakes, throwing droplets away in brief bursts. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. Every motion serves recovery. A bird is often imagined as effortless, a clean shape crossing the sky, untouched by weather, precise without strain. But rain exposes the truth beneath that illusion. Flight is not effortless. Survival is not effortless. The life of a bird is upheld by constant correction, constant maintenance, constant negotiation with the environment. Feather by feather, minute by minute, storm after storm. We see streets drying, leaves shining, clouds breaking apart. We hear less sound and assume the landscape has become calm. But for birds, the storm does not end when the rain stops. Its effects linger in the body, in the feathers that must be restored, in the heat that must be defended, in the calories that must be replaced. The small bird sitting silent on a wire is no longer just part of the background. Humans experience rain from behind barriers, behind walls, glass, roofs, fabric, engines, and heat. Birds meet it with their bodies, and still, most of them endure, not through strength in the human sense, but through precision. That is the hidden drama of the quiet world after rainfall. Not absence, not rest, not peace, but endurance made invisible. If a bird is sitting there without moving, you may not be looking at a creature at ease, a body holding on to warmth, waiting for its feathers to recover, waiting for the air to become reliable again. And once you see that, the silence after rain never feels quite the same. It feels fragile, earned, and full of life fighting quietly to continue.